Tonight, Aurora's city council meeting was derailed by a group of people calling on city leaders to do something about the death of Kylan Lewis. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. Alexander Lewis is along now to explain what went down at Aurora City Council tonight. Alex?
Hey guys, so Aurora Mayor Mike Hoffman finally addressed Lewis's loved ones directly for the first time at the start of tonight's council meeting. Kylan Lewis was unarmed, holding only a cell phone in his hand when police shot and killed him in May. Now his family and his friends have vowed to keep bringing up his story at these meetings until they get some form of justice. Here's just a little bit of what Mayor Mike Hoffman said to them tonight.
I'd like to express my personal condolences to the family and friends of Kylan Lewis. The loss of any life in our community is reason to mourn, and we recognize the pain of those who loved him.
You can see he's reading there from a message that he wrote. Mayor Kaufman went on to say he recognizes people have a sense of concern and distrust for Aurora police, but that he respects the need to understand the full situation. During the public comment period, several people, including Kylan's mother, spoke about their continued search for answers.
I will not stop. I will be not moved by anyone, not even the police officers, not even the Attorney General, no one, till justice is served.
Now things start to escalate. When 1 hour public comment period ended, there were still 8 people still signed up to speak. A council member filed a motion to extend the time to hear from those speakers, but the motion failed, and that's when things got heated.
Virtual meeting, is there any objection to a virtual meeting?
Yeah, so the rest of the meeting happens virtually. At the last Aurora City Council meeting 2 weeks ago, the council voted not to offer an official apology to the family over the way Kylan died. The shooting remains under investigation.
A camper with a blown tire started several brush fires along I-70 in Garfield County, west of Rifle today. Firefighters say the driver didn't know they were riding the rim and sending sparks into the grass as they went. The fire shut down parts of I-70 for hours today. Tonight, interstate's back open with just one lane westbound closed while firefighters continue to work.
Skies were pretty hazy today. In some areas, you couldn't even see the mountains in the distance. Smoke from wildfires in the Pacific Northwest and Canada blowing into our area. Kathy's tracking all that haze and the heat for us tonight. Kathy?
The weekend was so nice, Kim. It was cooler. We had a little rain. Yep, we had severe weather, but a break from the heat and the haze. And now here we go again. We do have an air quality alert out for that smoke and haze and high levels of ozone right here in the metro area. I've been tracking some isolated storms. They brought little relief to the area. And now the heat, well, we're turning the heat up over the next couple of days. We've cooled back now to the mid 60s after a day with highs in the 80s. This will be the coolest day of the week as that dome of high pressure shifts back over Colorado. Winds out of the south now will help to warm us, but it was winds out of the north that brought in the smoke and haze from Canadian wildfires and fires burning across the Pacific Northwest. The worst of the smoke will shift off to the east tomorrow afternoon and then lift north tomorrow night. Should see some big improvement by Wednesday morning in terms of the air quality, but air quality alert remains in effect. Some areas for wildfire smoke, others for high levels of ozone. Those in the sensitive groups, best to just keep it inside and don't exercise outdoors again for one more day tomorrow. A little bit to show you on the radar. These showers are falling apart as we speak. Comfortable temperatures over the next few hours. Coming up, a look at the extended forecast in detail, and that's in just a bit.
A fresh campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination that began yesterday is essentially over tonight. Kamala Harris has secured the support of enough Democratic delegates to become her party's nominee. She's basically taken over the Biden campaign. She gets its fundraising and its staff, which she addressed today.
We have doors to knock on. We have people to talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win.
Democrats had hoped that a change atop the campaign would lead to a surge in enthusiasm. Suppose one way to measure that, while it's opening wide. 90 reporter Rachel Krause is here. And indeed, Rachel, a lot of money very quickly.
Yeah, $81 million just in the past day, and a lot of that has come from small donors, folks around the country chipping into the campaign. Now, experts say her bid is building steam quickly this time around, in a way President Biden's never did.
I think women and people of color are going to be exceptionally excited and ready to go ready to work in this campaign.
Kamala Harris's bid for president is getting delegates like Polly Baca excited.
It already is. There is so much. I've gotten emails and calls already from people excited about Kamala.
And it's been gathering steam very quickly.
Robert Preuss leads the political science department at MSU Denver. He says he expected the Harris campaign would take days for endorsements, momentum, and fundraising.
Certainly everyone seems on board by now.
Harris's campaign announcing they've brought in a whopping $81 million in just 24 hours.
It's an impressive start, and those are a lot of small donors as well. I think a lot of excitement. There was a dam built with fundraising, and I really think that dam broke as soon as Biden kind of left the nomination open.
Prior to Biden's withdrawal, President Trump, who'd been lagging behind in fundraising, had just caught up to their campaign. Now, Harris's massive one-day haul is setting them far ahead. And her grassroots fundraising push, Preuss says, is reminiscent of election energy the Democrats haven't seen since President Obama.
Yeah, it sure feels that way. And I think that's, gets to the point of really a lack of enthusiasm for Biden.
Preuss says others are energized to see a woman and a woman of color as the likely nominee. While $81 million is a lot of money for a single day, Preuss says a presidential campaign needs hundreds of millions to run. And while it's unclear if that surge in interest will translate in the polls or at the ballot, Preuss says this sets Harris up for success at the DNC next month.
Yeah, I think that road is cleared for Kamala Harris. And it looks like delegates are already backing her, so it's really hard to see a path forward for anybody else.
While Harris is believed to have the delegates now to become the Democratic nominee, those endorsements aren't binding. Delegates are expected to vote to confirm Harris as the nominee in August. And while she's certainly seen a rapid surge in support nationwide on just her first day of campaigning, experts say it's too soon to know how that momentum will translate on Election Day. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Kamala Harris does have the support of her sisterhood. The vice president is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. She joined while attending Howard University. Rocky Mountain NAACP President Portia Prescott is also a member. She believes Harris's networks will motivate voters to take her all the way to the Oval Office.
We came together to make history already once, to making her the vice president, and now knowing we can come together, the first and finest, AKA, to bring her back, bring it on home.
Last night, 44,000 black women were on a Zoom call with an organization called Win with Black Women. It included a link to donate to the Biden-Harris campaign. $1.5 million was raised during that 3-hour call. Harris has less than a month to find a potential running mate before the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Colorado's Democratic Governor Jared Polis is one of many names being mentioned as a possibility. It's unlikely he'll be the choice, but he had this to say about the situation when asked by CNN.
Obviously, if somebody asks, I take a serious look at it, but my phone hasn't rung yet. Look, if they do the polling and it turns out that they need a 49-year-old balding gay Jew from Boulder, Colorado, they got my number.
Polis has long insisted he doesn't want to run for president. He endorsed Harris quickly after Biden's exit yesterday. Polis had expressed concerns about Biden's campaign, but never publicly called for him to drop out. Yesterday, Polis said Biden made the right choice.
Denver Mayor Mike Johnson marked 1 year of work to end homelessness in the city with his first State of the City address today.
A dream that seemed impossible a year ago, that we could find a path to end street homelessness in the next 4 years, now feels more possible than ever.
Mayor Johnson says that effort helped to get 1,600 people off the streets. To make it happen, the city spent $155 million. That's $65 million more than the cost estimate he offered last year.
In this budget year, we knew we were going to spend more because this year we were building all the infrastructure to run our homeless program long term. We bought hotels, we built tiny home villages. That comes at a cost.
In his speech, the mayor said that the historic effort has not been without mistakes. We asked him about that, and he said if he could do it again, he would offer better case management and support for the House 1000 sites. And he says he also would have added better safety protections and screening for people entering the shelters.